Welcome back to Introduction to Business offered by the College of Lake County. This is a fully online class. You finished week one. Let's like that. You did it. I mean, I think I got 15 or 17 students in this class, give or take, and most of you got your B's, your A's. You did well in the discussion board for me. Many of you have already completed your Learn Smart or Connect homework, so you're on track there. Some of you are a little bit behind, or you we're waiting all the way to the end to do it all in one day. Remember, there's no way you could do this online class or any online class trying to do it all in one day. It's just not going to be, it's not going to work. Too much information, too much work. You got to read the book. You have to look at my lectures. You have to make sure you remember. Let me go through this real quickly. We're in this subject area. Let's see. Those of you who had me before, you know I don't edit any of my work. We're live. So here it is. Your homework, right? Your orientation, you already done that. Your discussion board, your weekly Connect homework. Remember, you could do these in advance. They're all set up. Just make sure you do them with the due date. Once the due date's gone, you lose those points. Okay, so we're back in here. Let's see. You've got my weekly lectures. I usually have the thing, so your full weekly lectures are right in here. Click them on there. Chapter 1. Look at them first. First, look at the book. The ebook's easy because you got the book. You read it real easy reading. It's an excellent book. Read it. Look at my YouTube, my lectures. You have that. Make sure you print out my concept maps that are always available here for you. They're in a PDF file. I'm just doing a real quick overview. All right. So where's the heck my concept map? You click on there, so you get going. My concept maps. They're all PDF files. So we're going to be doing chapter 3 and 4. You go on here. Oop, I keep on forgetting the way it's set up with the new windows. It pops up in there. Print them out, add on to them. Wherever you have a plus, that means you got to add more. I just give you the second tier of the lecture. It follows along nicely with the book. Okay, so we get rid of this. Got rid of this. Get rid of Adobe. Back in here. All right, so you have that. Weekly lectures, mind maps, major paper. Here's what we're going to be doing this week. You're going to be coming up with a product and idea. So let's go into weekly homework. Okay, week 1 is going to close off tonight. So if you didn't do any of the homework, didn't do what was required for week 1, is gone. You lost those points. Remember, just 1,200 points, give or take, if I ain't mistaken. You lost those points. Move on forward. All right? It's a learning curve. You had all week to do this. I sent you an orientation earlier. I know some of you got the orientation, but you didn't get around to it till maybe about like Wednesday or Thursday. You still had more than enough time. I sent you a reminder, a midweek reminder to get it done, so you should be online. Make the due dates. You lost the points. Move on. Don't go back. Say, Dr. George, you lost these points. Move forward. It's only 40 points or whatever out of, for lack of better words, 1,200 points. It's a drop in a bucket right now. You're still starting. But remember, this is a 12-week course. I mean, a 16-week course condensed into 12 weeks. Don't mess around, move forward, okay? So most of you did good in discussion board, very intense discussions. You got your grades. You did good on the one question. It says select a country. We learned about a lot of different countries as a collective. You read the information. It worked out well, okay? All right, so now, what do we have? So week 1 is going to be turned off at midnight tonight. So if you haven't finished it, I'm recording it today, Sunday. Week 1 is going to be off. You're going to start on week 2. Now, when I look at week 2, a lot of times I may not have the dates on there. I just do this at the beginning, and then you go forward. So if I look at week 2, you click on week 2. Oops, let me go back a little bit. Weekly homework. What's required for week 2? Week 2, discussion board, you'll be selecting your business venture. Usually I wait till about week 3 or 4 before I select a business. Your major project requirement is to select either a business or a new product line for an existing business that you're working at, or something you may want to open up. I'm trying to get you to take what you're learning, instead of just knowing vocabulary and knowing how to answer the question, how to take what you're learning and able to apply it to some kind of a paper or some kind of an action plan that we call in business. All right, so you're going to select a business. So you made your paper. Make sure you come in here. Where the heck is this? I got made your paper requirement. You're going to click on here, and I want you to read major paper requirement. Now remember, this paper is two things. I sometimes utilize this if it be a 16-week course, either online or face-to-face, that I create teams, and you do the teams. 12 weeks since I looked at half of my class. I've never been on an online class. Half of my class is the first time taking a course here at the College of Lake County. So you're not used to being an online student yet. Some are, some not. Some never even knew what Blackboard course management system is. Now you do. All right. So here's what you click on here, and it goes through it. So an hour, it goes into detail. What I require, what you need to do, the topics I need, the headers I need, how the paper is going to be presented, and everything else. So look at that. And then the following week, in week 3, I will have like a water cooler, and we can start talking about things. Hey, I don't understand this. What did you actually mean by APA citations, whatever. So look at that. Get this general information. Right now, you're not there. Because once you select your topic or your business venture, or what I'm using, you don't have to be a new, look, if I'm looking at this, some people say, I'm going to be opening up a business, Dr. George. I'm going to be a manager in a company. Well, fine. Even as a manager, department head, you're basically your own business owner. Only you have the corporation that funds you. Some of you are working in retail, because I looked at some of your bios, some of your introduction. You're working in retail, so what's going to happen? Your department's not selling. Your boss doesn't care. You got your basic ad. How are you going to bring customers into your store or into your department to buy your product? What if you have a new product? You know what I mean? And part of a manager, whether you're a manager or a small business owner or an entrepreneur, all of the chapters, the 21 chapters you're learning in this survey class, or what I call a smorgasbord, you have to be able to understand how to interact. My background is marketing, management, and finance. I have to know accounting. Basically, if you're going to do finance, you have to know all the accounting classes. Probably teach accounting, but mine is not. Accounting basically is it gives me information of what happened. Here's my sales, here's my expenses, all this. Finance takes that information and how do I make the numbers or my ratios that you're going to learn in this course down the road more acceptable or more in the norm with my competitors or industry. So when investors are looking into this company or into my small business or even the larger organization, how does that their ratios, remember, profitability ratios or return on investments are similar to organizations within that same area of expertise. All right, and look. Okay, so we've got that. So look at rubrics, tells you the only difference between you doing it as individuals or you doing it as a team is just that in my team I have 4,400 words. It's basically 5,000 some words. This is a while back. I think this is a couple of years old. I updated. So you only have required for 2,400 words. It's about like 8 pages. But all the headers, everything else is the same. Okay, so you have everything there. Look at that first. Let's go back into our weekly homework. Okay, so in week 2. This is going to be turned off. You're not going to have access to that anymore. So make sure you do all your work. My whole thing in this course is that you always focus on your due dates. That's business. There's no way. If I'm late, my customer doesn't will find another vendor. If I'm a supplier and I can't deliver your goods on time, he or she's going to find another supplier. Due dates is what drives business. Get used to it. Due dates. And here, you missed a due date, fine. Opportunity lost, move forward. We just started, so let's get into the momentum and into the focus. Okay, so chapter 2. You're going to do your paper, identify your topic within the discussion board. First look at the major paper. By Wednesday midnight, since it's a 12-week case, we need to start working on the paper now. So at least you got a topic. Don't worry about all that. Give it your best shot. So let's go what's going to happen in here. You've got 2 things you're going to have to do. Real simple. You got a discussion board. Hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday, come up with a topic idea in the subject area. I'm opening up a hot dog place. I'm opening up a gym. Remember, look at it this way. I don't want you to tell me I'm going to open up a golf course that cost me $2 million. You're not even there yet. Give me a break. What you're looking at, I figure you got $150,000. I usually give $100,000, $150,000 a startup fee. Your idea already passed mustard, for lack of better words. I like the idea. That's what you're doing here. I'm going to open a hot dog stand, Grays Lake, blah, blah, blah. No problem. So now you have $150,000. How are you going to utilize this money to open up the business in the next 6 months? So the next chapter is coming in the marketing and the sales and the finance and the pricing and how I'm going to get extra cash and all that stuff. Is you're going to be building this paper through the discussion boards going forward. That's why you have to be focused. What do you think? Look at it this way. No one's going to hire you, but you have $150,000 in an idea, and I say, okay, here's the money. Let's see give me some kind of action plan or a feasibility study, and see where you're gonna how you're gonna open up this business. You got to tell me where. You're going to tell me what. So right now, new business, existing product or service, I don't care. What are your product lines? And, we haven't gotten into product lines, product mixes. If I'm opening up a hot dog stand and basically my product line is hot dog, I may sell tacos, I may sell gyros, those are different product lines. But in my marketing mix, it's basically a fast food place. Or a hot dog stand. If I go to a hot dog stand, unless I'm just pushing a cart, I basically know I've got pop, I get different product lines, I sell other stuff to complement the hot dog or complement certain things that people are going to come in my fast food to either want a hot dog, hamburger, or gyros, give or take. Okay? All right, so now, product lines for your customers. Who your target customers. First of all, you got to tell me we're going to open it up. I'm going to open up in, let's see, this is College of Lake County. I'm going to open up in Grays Lake. Where am I going to open up in the Lake County area? It's going to be Waukegan. It's going to be Lake Forest. It's going to be in Grays Lake, where the school is located at. I don't care. Haynesville. You tell me where you're going to open up, and that's where you're going to hit. I want all customers. Some customers are not going to eat hot dogs. Come on, I love hot dogs. I grew up on hot dogs. Other people, they're vegetarians. They're not going to eat any kind of meat. Who's your customers? So remember, I want them all, but I have to find that one niche that I know I'm going to get right away. That's what you're going to say. Who are your target customers? Tell me they're either going to be Generation Y, Generation B, baby boomers, or non-health conscious individuals, or the truck driver. I don't care. Give me something right now. Your best shot. I got the money. I'm going to open a hot dog stand. How I'm going to market to them. Okay. What is the need for this venture from the customer's point of view? There's no hot dog place. Now in Grays Lake, there's a bunch of hot dog places. Haynesville, maybe none. So maybe that's where I want to open up. I'm just throwing out Waukegan, there's a lot. Waukegan's a big city. Which area? Maybe in the north side of Waukegan, there's no hot dog place. So you're trying to find out. You can open up where your competition is. There may be other hot dog stands, but all hot dog stands have different things. There's a hot dog place on Haynesville and Washington. I think Big Bull, or I forget. I apologize. Now, there's other hot dog places. There's Sammy's. There's other places around there in Grays Lake. The reason that one's pretty good, and I like going in there, is because what? They got real French fries. I mean, real, not frozen. They make them right there fresh. And they remind me of when I grew up in Chicago. I got the real French fries, the real fresh French fries. Not frozen. There's nothing wrong with it, but they're fresh, made there. And the hot dog, the hot dog, everything's the same, but the fries are there. So I go to that place for the fries, all right? So if you're ever out in that area, if you want to check in there, say, hey, Dr. George, he did that. And I'm not trying to sell it. It's just, you see how I'm trying to do an idea. So now they already got hot dogs, but when I go in there, they got hot dogs, they got chicken, they got fish, they got gravy, they got gyros, they got other things. That's their product mix. But what brings customers into there? Because they could say, hey, we got real hot dogs, real French fries. We use 100% potatoes. We do them right here and we fry them with you. But they sell other things, okay? What town you're playing as a venture? Can you make a profit from this venture? Place your topic in the subject. A hot dog place in Grays Lake, hot dog place in Waukegan, hot dog place in Lake Forest, Vernon Hills, anywhere you want, or higher end. You could have any business, legal business that's legal in the state of Illinois. Okay, I had some students that had bars, they had breweries, they had medical marijuana dispensaries. It's legal. It's something they want to do. So and look at it. Remember, if you're going to open up a gym, a smaller gym, you only have $150,000. what niche I'm going to do. Once you get that customers coming in, as you're going to find out, and your business grows, then I could expand. I may only have just a weightlifting gym right now. Down the road, I may have also rock climbing because it kind of ties in with it, or complements. Okay? So give me your best shot. Just put it in there, and remember, once you post yours, I think the discussion boards were 20 points. Last week you had 5 points for an intro, real quick, and 15 points to talk about a different, international. And look, your business may be an international hot dog place. You have international hot dogs. What's an international? Who knows? I got hot dogs from Mexico. I got hot dogs from Poland. What's the difference? There are Polish hot dogs. If you ever go to a Polish deli, they're a little different. It's more like a veal type of meat, not the hot dog. Not the type of hot dogs you look here. Beef is more of a veal hot dog. But you can say 100% Polish, not sausage, hot dog. Oh man, I never had a Polish hot dog. What else do they have? They have sauerkraut. So, the Chicago hot dog, or you can even have your own hot dog. We're going to have a Gray's Lake hot dog. What's in the Gray's Lake? You tell me what you're going to do. Be creative. But any kind of business. You could have a boutique. You could anything that's a legal business that some of you are photographers, from the discussion board. Some of you are an accountant. You want to open up an accounting, H&R Block. You want to be their competitors. A private accountant right here. I don't care. Remember? Come up with something else, because what you're going to be doing in this class here, you're going to take the next chapters and you're going to incorporate what you're reading and incorporate into your business. So your major paper is going to be a living document. So by the time you have to present the paper a couple of weeks before, I think it's in the 10th week of, it's a 12-week course. In the 10th week, you'll be presenting your paper in a quick PowerPoint. And we build it through the discussion board. So you're taking what you're reading now and able to apply it, instead of just being like a parrot and knowing the definitions and knowing the concepts, but I don't know how to put them together. And you've created what we call a business feasibility study. A lot of businesses, the idea is good. Where is it going to be profitable, and could I sustain it in that area for the next 3 or 4 years? That's what you're going to be working on. So you got 150,000. Assume that if you're going to see, I'm going to be selling solar panels. I assume you already got the contact of solar panels. Where do you think solar panels would be worth well? Will you do it in existing buildings, or are you going to try to sell your solar panels on new buildings? Or you're going to try to sell it to a businesses, remember? And you'll find this all out. Okay, so you've got that. And make sure after you post it, your post got to be by at least Wednesday so we could have a discussion. Don't post everything at the end, otherwise it's a download. You post it and you'll be fine. And then reply to 3 or other individuals. Even if they did not reply to you, part of business, you're reaching out. Look, when I advertise, I try to reach out. Those people, sometimes I walk into Costco's or Sam's or Walmart, and they're trying to sell the phones or something else. They'd approach you. They don't know you from Adam or from Sally. It doesn't make a difference. They come up to you and they say, hey, are you interested in DirecTV? Are you interested in Comcast? You want a Verizon phone? And they look at you. They try to check you out to see if they're going high end. Like sometimes I go to Costco and I'm dressed kind of bummy, for lack of a better word. They're not trying to sell me a air conditioning or a Lexus car or any kind of high end car. They say, man, this guy looks kind of bummy. He may not have any money, or she may not have any money. All right. So look at it. Remember, you have to reach out. Part of a lot of businesses, why I focus on the discussion board, is how do I convince customers or make communications with my clients or potential customer base in a virtual environment. That means I got to send them an email, I got to talk to them, and now I'm networking. And I'm learning from other individuals, because when I read somebody else's post, and let's say I'm doing a hot dog, and you're going to open up a dance studio or a yoga shop, for like and it could be a yoga shop selling yoga apparel, certain clothes for yoga, a real nice yoga mat or whatever, yoga socks or whatever. So you're selling an apparel for that yoga shop, and here's how you're marketing. I'm going, man, I didn't even think about marketing it that way. You see how you're learning? The system is there. The products is what you're selling, trying to convey to the audience that you think will be the first people coming into your shop or try your product. Okay? So you've got that real quick, and that's worth 20 points. And then you have your 2 Learn Smarts. These are just links. Remember, all your Learn Smarts are in here. I think that's all I have for this. And then you got to read the chapter. To do the Learn Smart, look at my lectures. Read the chapters. I didn't put the lectures in here. I didn't put the links in here because it makes it too busy. People see it. Something on their smartphone. A lot of stuff. So remember, all my lectures are here. weekly lectures. Look at them first. Read the book. You got an ebook, so you can't say, "Oh, I forgot the book." You have to have the Connect software that comes with the book. Sold at the College of Lake County. I think it's to the publisher. I think it's $82. You get a loose leaf book. You got to buy a binder. That's to keep the cost down. You get an ebook version also that you could do your smartphone on the road, and then you also get the software, the interactive software that we're using here, either Learn Smart or what do you call it, Connect homeworks. And, has some videos to address different learning styles for individuals, as I explained my orientation, and then we should be good. All right, so keep up the good work, keep up the work. Remember, the class starts from Monday, and it ends Sunday. Sunday is usually for you to make sure you finish your Learn Smarts and everything else. Your discussion board should be ended by Saturday midnight. Not all on one day. I start taking points off because that's a download. And a lot of times, once you made your those of you who did for the first week, once I require your 4 to 5 replies or postings to other people, not including your own. Your first post to me is usually worth like 7 or 8 points, depending what I'm asking for, and then the rest of the points is that you're interacting with other students, and not just say, "Yep, that's a good idea. Yep, I want some substance." Like you'll be helping somebody. Think of your workforce. How are you going to be noticed in business or with your colleagues or your other businesses you're trying to reach? Is that you're helping through networking. You're giving them some information, some substantiable information that could help their business. Either it's, "Yes, I agree with this because blah, 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 blah. I agree with your customer base," or, "Hey, did you think about this niche?" You're helping. Don't ever expect to get something back. So if someone doesn't reply with you, don't worry. Your thing is to reply to everybody else. Now, the discussion board. You do not have, once you made your 5 replies to other people, not my post. You always have to reply to my post first, answer the questions. I will always try to respond to you either directly in the discussion board or in the comments that just between you and me, not to make you feel uncomfortable, just something to say, "Hey, you didn't give me enough information, please add on to this." The first week I did a little bit of that because no one was doing, everything else was open. Later on I'll do some comments. I may not respond to every posting. Your job during the discussion board is to help each other out as you'll be networking at work, as you'll be working with, remember, it's not only to learn the subject matter, it's to learn the emotional intelligence or what is a social interaction that's required in a business. I have a project, somebody else reaches out in my team or in my network, in my team, and say, "Hey, I have a problem here, I got an idea. Could you help me out?" Remember, you're a small business. You don't have the money like the large corporations to pay for a focus group. So what you're basically going to be doing is asking your friends, your networking, or your colleagues, "What do you think?" before you go out and actually try to implement something. Just because you think it's a good idea, people say, I may be one of those outliners that are thinking out here, and everyone says, "Man, that's not going to work." So you help each other out. Give them some substance in the reply. Give me some information. Remember, just because you post 3, 5, 6 times and say, "Yep, good idea, yep, I like that," you're not going to get 20 points. You give me very little substance. You just basically come into class and sitting there and not saying nothing. Remember, the lectures replace the face-to-face. The discussion board replaces the face-to-face interaction you would have in a face-to-face class or the lecture. Okay, so we're good. You have everything else. You're doing great. Keep it up going forward. Remember, if you miss the points, don't worry about it. It's just this is the second week. Second week. Let's get into routine. Don't do everything in one day. Let's spread it out. Read, do this. You got this. We're all very tied into electronic devices, so we're very flexible, very fluent. And remember, you're taking me online. You're open 24/7. I have some individuals online that are in the military, that are in Texas. I have one individual that's in Afghanistan or whatever. Someplace overseas, deployed, and still could be able to complete this course. That's why you're taking it online, is because you have that flexibility. A lot of times I do a lot of my recordings 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I respond to you 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. All right? So welcome again to Introduction to Business. Come up with some kind of idea. It's an exercise. Whether remember, I don't care what kind of business, they all have to utilize all the 21 chapters that you do. And then down the road, now you know how they fit. You know the definition. You know the vocabulary. You know the terms. And now you know how the pieces fit together. So then later on, you'll take me either for a marketing class, a full marketing 16 weeks. What you've done here, the 1 to 2 paragraphs in your feasibility, you expand that to another 8 pages, and then you take me for management, or you take another instructor for finance, and then you start building your business. So then when you really want to open up your business, you've got all the pieces. You have like kind of a real short business plan that anything that you want for grants or some kind of investor, you got to have some kind of plan. And you could also utilize this when you're going for a job interview and you're going, hey, I've got a business degree from the College of Lake County. Oh, did you? Oh, look, I created this hypothetical business, and now they say you've got the knowledge, and they can see how you actually took what you've learned from your reading in your course and able to apply it. Okay? I'll see you in the discussion board. Have a nice day and welcome to week 2. And I think next week, if I'm mistaken, you're going to have your first exam from chapters 1 through 6, and it's going to be online. And I'll talk a little bit about that next week. And next week I'll have like a week 3 will be just a quick water cooler. And the water cooler is basically just saying, hey, you got any problems or issues? Right now, let's get your feet wet. Keep on going. Don't drop the course. And remember, I updated, I think, the drop dates. Some people think that online is just 3 exams. College of Lake County and most colleges, I teach at another school, they have training to teach online. It's not just like 3 exams. They want interaction. They want you to learn. They want you to apply. Remember, you've got the advantage over a lot of times, sometimes of taking a face-to-face class, is that you could base in business, it's face-to-face. I meet customers, brick and mortar, but I also have an e-commerce aspect. All businesses do, trust me. So now you know how to communicate in a professional. So when you're doing a posting, I want it professional. I want it, it doesn't have to be perfect grammar, for lack of better words, because it's a conversational discussion, but you can't have yo, hey, ho, what, you know what I mean? Look at it, try to pretend you're writing this when you're posting on the discussion board, you're posting to your supervisor or to some of your colleagues. You want to look kind of professional here. Make sure you updated your profile. I gave points. If you don't update it, you lose 5 points. I mean, I don't want to see a silhouette up there. I want to see either your picture up there or something that resembles your product or resembles you. All right? It's easier when you're following the threads. Put the picture up there, as I indicated in the orientation in a profile. It helps other people. It's like a LinkedIn. You always get other people who say he's in marketing, in accounting. Maybe I want to connect with this individual. Maybe I want to hire this individual. Maybe I want to work for this individual. All right. So my name is Dr. George Mochocki. Again, welcome to week 2. Get into the discussion, think of some kind of product that you want. You got $150,000, so try to local, answer questions. And remember, you could always change down the road, but the business, they all follow the same. Whether I'm a business manager, a business owner, or a department head, I have to understand all these functionalities. That's why some of you, this may be the only business class you're taking because you're in nursing or something else. It's not your expertise, but everything is dealing with business. How do I price them? How do I charge them? How do I bring people in? How do I motivate employees? Everything you have to do as a business owner, from a little one all the way to the corporation. All right? I'll see you online. Thank you very much, again, for signing up for this class. And I'm Dr. George Mochocki. This is College of Lake County. This is homework requirements for week 2 on my online class. If you just happen to find me on YouTube and you're in the College of Lake Counties, in Lake County area, hey, the community colleges, where you take myself, other instructors, excellent. A lot of us come from the field, and this is our expertise. Some of us are full-time instructors, some of our contractors like myself, teach at various colleges, but we all have to have the same degrees, and we give you not only course book, we also give you practicality, and we try to make you, like I said, all my degrees are in business, so I'm a practitioner. What I learn, I have to be able to implement within the next 6 months. Bye. Hopefully I'm on 20 minutes, let's see. Ooh, 28 minutes. I went a little bit too long. I apologize, but that's fine.